Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dubai Sports Hub, where we have another discussion about the Premier League roundup. A comprehensive look at the matches that were played today, and we need to dig deep into some of these matches that were played today. I mean, some of these teams that rolled out today got what they duly deserve. I'm very, very happy about some of these results that I witnessed today, and I can guarantee you that long may this continue. It was a beautiful, beautiful day in the Premier League. So we started off with Brighton handling business with the noisy neighbours Manchester City. It was an amazing feat. Brighton actually came back from a goal down. Erling Haaland with his customary early goals in the Premier League. He scored in the 39th minute, I think. And I guess that was all she wrote for City. Brighton put their best foot forward. They were on the front foot all over City like a rash on a baby. I can say that Brighton is looking like the Brighton Munich. I can say that Brighton is looking like the Brighton Munich we always call them. And they did put on a good show, put City in their place, and God knows, man, it was a beautiful one. Beautiful one. West Ham finally got a win today as well. They went down to Nottingham Forest and put a decent 3-0 on them. And you could say this is a late show from West Ham. They scored their goals pretty late. So kudos to them, and they're now off the bottom of the table. And I think they're up to 16th at the moment. Liverpool spunked Arsenal beautifully. Yeah, man, hold that Arsenal. Hold that Arsenal. Spanked them 1-0 today at Anfield. It was a beautiful free kick from Dominic Szoboszlai. And Crystal Palace, surprisingly, put Aston Villa in a split. Actually rolled them up. So we'll take a look into the happenings of today. Let's jump into the matches we played today. So, first of all, a look at the West Ham and Crystal Palace game. Now, West Ham, they didn't have, well, West Ham and Forest, so to speak. West Ham didn't have a lot of possession today. They were dominated by Forest. Forest had 58% possession. Expected goals was 0.73 for Forest and 2.42 for West Ham. So they did really, really well in this sense. 12 shots for West Ham to Forest 11. But West Ham was playing on the counter. It's just that they were pretty clinical in this match. 8 shots on target to Forest 3. Big chances, 4 for West Ham, and they missed 2. Forest created 1 and they missed it. And boy, did they pay for it. They had a lot of passes and a pretty high passing percentage. One of the highest we've seen this season. I mean, you only associate these with Manchester City and Liverpool. But they made a very good account of themselves, and I'm referring to West Ham. This was really needed. The manager was under pressure. The fans were turning on the players. They were absolutely shite throughout that beginning of the season. So, in this case, I would say kudos to them. They did come back pretty well. Villa versus Palace. This was played at Villa Park as well. This match at Villa Park was something that everybody had expected Aston Villa to win. They were pretty decent earlier in the transfer window. Got in some good players, got out who they needed to get out. They did lose a lot of big name players like Asensio and Rashford, but one would expect them to do better as a Premier League side and a team that is also in the Champions League. However, Crystal Palace had other ideas. They went up there and duly put them in their place. 3 goals, Mateta is back in scoring form, and Oliver Glasner on his side has been pretty effective this season, I can say. Because when I look at it, when they had started off early in the season, they beat Liverpool 1-0 in the Community Shield. They lost their best player to Arsenal in Eberechi Eze. They're also about to lose, I think, Mark Gay to Liverpool. But until that time comes when the transfer window closes, big up yourself, Itan Fire. Welcome to the live. Respect for the gift as well. When the transfer window closes, I don't think they'll have Mark Gay. So good for them. Pick up all the points that you can get because it's going to be a really, really tight show as far as they're concerned. Looking at the bigger games that were played today now, Man City versus Brighton. City, as usual, dominated the ball. 87% in terms of their pass completion compared to Brighton's 75. And Brighton is a good passing team. They play good football, easy on the eye, and everything. Expected goals for Brighton 2.30, 1.82 for City, which is mandatory and expected. They're both attacking team. So this was a good look. 12 shots each, 7 on target for Brighton, 3 on target for City. And one other thing is, Brighton was carving Man City open on the regularly carving them open. 3 big chances for City, they missed 2. 3 big chances for Brighton, they missed 1. And this was one of the differences with these teams. So when we look at it, City did invest a lot of money earlier in the season. They spent big in the January transfer window. I think they spent about 200 million. They did splash another 200 million this season as well in this transfer window. So from July to August, they did spend a bit of money. You know, kudos to Brighton. I really appreciate them putting this beating on City, keeping them way down there on the table, and we will have a more deeper view of that table as we go through. And for the match that everybody was anticipating, Liverpool versus Arsenal. Now, yesterday I had said, let us hope. Yesterday we had said, let us hope that Liverpool can do the business on Arsenal. I'm a Manchester United fan, so in no way, shape, or form am I happy when Liverpool is winning. But boy, did this one feel good. Waking up to City losing, and then in the middle of the day, Arsenal getting a dose of their own medicine. Liverpool played well. Arsenal did play well. I will give them that. They have some good defenders. So it's a case where one would say Arsenal have a good defense, but they're being shielded by a midfield. Overcautious from Arteta, and it was a total meltdown from their fans today, because a lot of them said he should have been braver. He should have gone for the kill. He should have actually went with a more attacking team. Now, looking at the stats, 11 shots at Anfield is pretty good, but where they let themselves down was the one shot on target from Arsenal. 3 shots on target for Liverpool. One of those shots being that beautiful free kick, 35 yards out from Dominic Szoboszlai. Who would have known that this guy is a free kick taker? It's unbelievable. I would say hold that Arsenal. We as Real Madrid fans had to hold that when Declan Rice banged in those 2 spectacular free kicks in the quarterfinals of the Champions League earlier last season. And it was a surprise to see that Declan Rice was taking free kicks. It was also a surprise today to see Dominic Szoboszlai taking that free kick, planting it magnificently into the top right hand corner. Respect for the follow, Lati. Big up yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube as well. Give us a follow over there. We're on here every night at 9 p.m. We do general reviews of all sports as we go along. But back to it. Arsenal, huffed and puffed. They did a lot of passing. When you look at the percentage, it was on and off. Ebbed and flow, 53-47. Sometimes it was in favor of Arsenal, but in the latter part, Liverpool had a bit of game control where they kept possession of the ball, kept Arsenal away from their goal, penned them in the midfield, and kept managing the game until the ref blew the whistle. No questionable decisions from the referee today, and this is good. It's always good when a referee or VAR does not make it about them, because this is something that has been plaguing the Premier League for some time. As we go on into the season, we would hope that these referees continue to remain professional. Do not make this about you. But it was a good game today, good win by Liverpool, and now we take a look at the table. So at the top of the table, Liverpool out there on 9 points, perfect record. They're unbeaten, and it's time they start losing now. It is time they start losing. You gotta come down. Chelsea in second place on 7 points. Arsenal, Spurs, and Everton, Sunderland, Bournemouth are all on 6 points. So from 3rd to 7th, it's a pretty tight call over there. Teams that are on 5 points would be Crystal Palace. The big bad Manchester United in 9th place on 4 points. We're also joined on 4 points by the likes of Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Leeds. Down there in lovely 13th place are the noisy neighbours Manchester City. 3 points from 3 games. Lost 2, only won 1. Guess who they're playing next? They're coming to Old Trafford. They are coming to Old Trafford to play against Manchester United, and we will be ready. Ruben Amorim needs the support from his hierarchy, from his board, to fix that midfield, getting another goalkeeper. So when they do come over to Old Trafford, and let's bring up these guys who are the ones of any form of relevance bigger on the screen. When these guys come over to Old Trafford, we should be there. We should be ready to extend this lead up to 7 points, keep them on 3. Pep Guardiola under a bit of pressure. Less talking on Ruben Amorim. I would advise anyone to bet on Manchester United for this one. We shouldn't be losing this going forward. Looking at the top of the table though, and the fixtures to come for the big guys at the top, I had already predicted that Liverpool would have won this title. I do believe that they will be defending their title. Chops, big up yourself. Good game today from Liverpool, as we had discussed last night. But as I said, I do believe that they will be defending their title. I had put City in second place. However, no sir. And I said after 15 games, we're going to review what we had originally said about these top 6. I had put Manchester United in 5th place. I possibly need to reassess, because if we did not get City get a stabbing at them neck. I agree. And just as we had suspected yesterday, Arsenal got that lovely one stabbing as well. So kudos to these teams who delivered the goods today, man. Delivered the goods today. Sweet me. It was a good start to the day, waking up and seeing the good news that City had lost. And I noticed that my phone wasn't bombarded by any City fan today saying that I was lucky yesterday or anything like that. So possibly why they were staying away from yesterday was because they weren't sure of what Brighton would have offered. And to be fair to Brighton, from last season they have been putting on the beating on quite a few big teams, myself included. We received a bit of it as well, but this looks pretty scary earlier in the season. And I would recommend those small teams, whosoever you can beat, especially the big guys who normally take points off you, beat them from early. Beat them from early, collect the points, save yourself whether you want to be in the top 10 in Europe and everything. But trouble did it for a lot of teams. There's a lot of trouble there for a lot of teams now. And I would say look out in the last, I think it's less than 24 hours left in the transfer market, in the transfer window. Persons may be able to leave to Turkey or Saudi Arabia, as their transfer window is pretty longer than in England. But England, Spain, Germany, I think the window closes at midnight tonight. Yes, at midnight tonight. So we're going to take a quick look and see what had happened in terms of the transfers today. Let's hope that Man U finally in the top 10. Fino. No, man, we're not coming out of the top 10, man. That 13th and 14th place finish that happened with Manchester United last season is a thing of the past. You know, see who down in the 13th place. Let us have a look. You see who that out of the top 10, we need to keep them there. And when I win and I'm on 7 points, let me see how far Chelsea there. Superior goal difference. I will at least pass Arsenal. I will at least pass Arsenal. So we need to keep those guys down there in 13th place the next time when we hold them. And that is in our hands to beat City. No draw, although you could have given Amorim a blight to say, all right, it's a difficult start to the season. Playing Arsenal on the first, but wait, we have Chelsea after City as well, you know. Yeah, man. I think we have Chelsea as well after City. Let us have a quick look at the fixtures coming up for these teams. Quick look at the fixtures coming up for these teams. And we're just looking at the big sides, so to speak. Table. Yeah, man. So Liverpool has Burnley next. Chelsea has Brentford. Pretty easy win. I see Brentford getting relegated. Arsenal have Nottingham Forest. Spurs have West Ham, who are hitting a bit of form. That should be a tricky match. Everton has Villa, and Villa needs to watch themselves, you know, because Everton is on form, playing pretty well. Have you noticed or taken a look at that number 10 from Everton? Endai. With Alcuna injured. Alright. A whole heap of people get injured, you know. When we look at your forward line, your new forward get injured as well, you know, chaps. Yeah, man. Your new forward get injured. I like Everton ball game. It's amazing that these prats at Man U never listen to David Moyes. Look at the way they treat him over there at West Ham as well. Get him out, him now and play good football and everything. And he went home doing the business now. And hey, Everton look really, really good. Bournemouth have Brighton next. Sunderland have Crystal Palace. Yeah, the big bad Manchester United have their noisy neighbours next. Now, we look forward to that. I'm not looking forward to some of the teams that the others will be playing, because it doesn't fill you with a lot of confidence. Some easy win I did for Chelsea, easy win for Liverpool, easy win for Arsenal. Yeah, the only one I see have any banana skin would be Tottenham and Villa. Yeah, because they will be playing Everton and West Ham. Yeah, man, him can stay. I really rate him. Our number 9. All right. I'm kind of glad Man U not get him neither. But with you have good squad depth. I'm glad we wheel the axe and take off a piece of one for Garnacho. You know. I cannot make that one slide. It has been overdue. And there's a 10% sell-on clause. So if you sell him for 100 million, I'll be getting 10 out of it. And trust me, you're going to make a big food off him if his attitude changes and him put him foot down and become the baller that we all know that he can become. I would say that. But otherwise, yeah, man, I'm glad we take off a decent piece of food off of you guys with that. For real. So what are your thoughts on the Gunners playing against Liverpool today? Thoughts on that? Who would have thought that Szoboszlai is such a good free kick taker as well? Because the surprise when I was watching it today, you know, you would think you would dink it into the box, dink it over there if somebody get on the end of it, play it across, but no, he went straight for the top corner, off the post. To even hear persons criticizing David Raya, saying should I do better, could I do better, it was surprising. Yeah, man, one bob, man, one bob. But there's a lot of optimism for this season. Hopefully my team can actually pull through because of the disgrace from last season and last week Wednesday as well. Liverpool not really hot still. Their defense not really hot for real. Van Dijk is a man who have the referees in his pocket too. You know. Have you noticed how him cry and moan and bitch around at the referee all the time? It's like him have the referee in his pocket. And the referee tends to listen to him a lot. That's something that they need to look out for. Yeah, man. cry a lot, man. If people say Bruno cry, which he does moan a lot, but boy, when if you look around past some of the other captains here, they are pretty serious about this. Pretty serious about the crying. And whatever advantage they can get by having the referees in their pocket, I do believe that, hey, this needs to be looked into. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be rejoining in a few with some gaming. Alright, chaps, big up yourself. We reason. Alright.